5th April, at the time that the Minister of Finance had been sworn into office. Some have raised issues about whether or not he could have seen this, and thus we should be extending investigations to also find out what they did when they saw this particular notification. Would you agree?
Oh yes. Even before this, the net was already getting to him that he was going to be this in court within it, even before this letter. Okay, but let's proceed since you are asking the questions in such a logical manner. Yes. So to the extent that this letter is copied to him, and don't forget that the controller takes instructions from the Minister of Finance. If you read the Public Financial Management Act, yes, controller takes instructions from the Minister for Finance. So this then, before you see issues like this, there would have been communication between them.
The controller makes reference to a Ministry of Finance letter, but the controller also on the 31st of March in that letter makes reference and copies the Deputy Minister of Finance, Ministry of Finance Deputy Ministers. Now, at the time, yes, Ken Ofori-Atta had been approved as Finance Minister, but he had just been approved and he was just getting into the office. But on the 25th of March, we didn't have a minister, we didn't have a deputy minister. So the question you ask is, in making reference to or copying deputy ministers of finance, what was the Controller and Accountant General suggesting?
Okay. Yeah, so this is the way I understand it. He sees that, okay, there are these persons. You remember Mr. Ofori-Atta traveled. Can we be assisted when he traveled? Could it be during the time that he was absent?
Well, yes. Around this time, Mr. Ofori-Atta was not in the finance ministry. He was vetted and approved on the 29th of March, sworn into office on the 30th of March, went to the finance ministry on the 31st of March.
But that on the 31st of March?
Yes.
Yes. So, meaning that if he was, once the controller was copying these people, then his understanding was that those persons at post, like practically in charge. That's in one sense, theoretically. But trust me, Winston, that's theory. In practice, Mr. Ofori-Atta was always in charge. There wasn't that vacuum. It can't be that because the letter copied deputy minister, that means that Mr. Ofori-Atta was not in charge.
Well, but the president had been he had asked Charles Edubahini to act, to be the president's representative at the finance ministry. So at that time, Mr. Ofori-Atta was not in charge. The one who was the president's representative.
Hello,
yes.
Sorry, I lost you a bit.
I'm saying that the president's representative was Charles Edubahini at the Ministry of Finance. So this can't be, Ken Ofori-Atta, can it? Hello, Martin?
Yes, it's good now. Yes, so the last I heard was that Mr. Edubahini was acting.
Yes, the president indicated he was acting. He was the president's representative in the finance ministry. And so how do you link this to Ken Ofori-Atta?
Okay. Yes, so practically, okay, considering everything, the fact that for 4 years, Mr. Ofori-Atta was fully in charge, and it was never lost on anybody that he was going to continue. In any event, even before then, his name had been submitted as the nominee to continue. Okay, so putting everything together, it's not lost on me that Mr. Ofori-Atta was always in charge, even from the shadows.
And so you say he has questions to answer based on this?
Oh yes, that one is without doubt. He does. This thing. And understand the Norwegian, what do you call it, journalist. Mr. Ofori-Atta granted an interview to a Norwegian journalist, right? Are you aware of that interview?
Yes.
Where is it? Yes. Can we play it back? I think I seem to remember something from it that shows that he even knew about the transaction. Yes. Can we? I just don't want to, run ahead. But I think, because it's been at least over a month, is it possible for us to get that interview played back? Because he was asked about his involvement. Then he said, oh, yes, he released money. Thing. Let's get the interview. It will help shape this debate.
Okay, we'll get that interview. But while we get that interview, let's look at other things now. Because you've been reading the Public Financial Management Act. You'd see that quarterly covered entities are expected to, following the approval of their budgets, they're supposed to be submitting what they intend to do in the quarter, also for approval and the allocation of funds.
Yeah.
Based on this, the minister talked about how first it was not part of his budgeting, and so he then would have to seek approval. Do you suspect that the health minister, again, did all these without notification to the finance ministry?
Yeah, so yes, there is a part of it that seems to suggest so. So the reason I say so is this. When they presented the budget, I remember earlier on, they said the budget that was presented to Parliament for these vaccines, he was hoping to buy these vaccines for not more than either $10 or $12. We can check the records. So whether it was 10 or 12, that was a far lower figure. So that is what was captured in the budget, right? Mm-hmm. So now, fast forward to 9th March, Mr. Adjumameni is signing a contract for $19. From what we've seen so far, at least there's no evidence that no written evidence that he had to seek the approval of the finance minister. So for that, until we get some evidence, we would have to say that it was without notice to the finance minister in terms of the higher price. But practically, Winston, there is also that side of me that shows that to the extent that the minister was going beyond his own budget, which was, and we can check from the records, I understand he appeared before the health committee. It was 10 or 12. I didn't know this question, or maybe would have looked for the budget and looked at the line item. So what I'm saying is that practically, for a minister to exceed the budget, so even if we're using 12, let's be charitable to him, from 12 to $19, and don't forget, even before the 19, Adjumameni had signed for $25, and the president canceled it. So I'm thinking that once he was exceeding the budget, practically, he would have sought the consent or had some distance from with the finance minister. Yes, to be very practical, because he was exceeding the budget. And Mr. Adjumameni himself, being, an accountant, I'm sure that he would have spoken, except that we can't get a paper trail. But it would be very astonishing that he would have just gone ahead by himself without consultations and then gone in, for $25 and then subsequently for $19.
Okay. I'll get back to you shortly, but let me get to Vitus Azim, who's an anti-corruption campaigner. And Vitus, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us. Hello, Vitus.
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Good. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well.
So, I know you've been following this, and just yesterday you've heard, the president talk about, bonus in his government. He makes reference to the health minister. He's talked about how, he's been, let me do transliteration, being slapped by Ghanaians, and how he's suffering in, the health ministry, and is still suffering. Now, from an anti-corruption point of view, so far, what would you say, based on the actions or the statement of the president, tell about his position concerning this?
Well, I think it confirms my belief that the health minister did not do these things all on his own alone. That the president...
Hello, Martin, can you hold on? I'll get back to you shortly. Yes, so let's listen to Vitus. Yes, Vitus, go ahead.
Yes, I'm saying that it confirms my belief and probably other people's beliefs that the health minister is just accepting responsibility and is being allowing himself to be used as a scapegoat. I don't think that he did everything all on his own. That at this time of the emergency, the pandemic, I don't think that he could have just gone ahead to do this transaction without informing the president, getting the approval of the president or other members, senior members of the government. And so if the president does this, of course, it's his normal thing. Even when it comes to State of the Nation address, he calls his ministers one by one and praises them for whatever they have done, even if they have not performed to the satisfaction of many Ghanaians. As far as he is satisfied, he'll make sure that he makes these statements to sort of preempt people's criticisms of the various ministers. And so it appears that the president does not find anything wrong with what is happening. And he's not likely to listen to whatever people are saying that maybe the minister should be fired or he should resign. And he's going to keep him.
But
so that has been our problem since he took office.
But Mr. Axim, how do you substantiate this? Because if you say this has been the president's posturing, he's appeared before chiefs. If he appears before chiefs, you do not expect the president to go saying, "I'm going to sack your, citizen or your child." So how do you confirm this suspicion?
Well, it's just my suspicion. I don't have any evidence to confirm. But I'm saying that from the long silence since this thing started, and then what he's supposed to have said yesterday, it means that he does not find anything wrong with it, right? That's my feeling. I'm not saying that I'm not right. I may be wrong, I may be right, but that's my feeling. And I don't have evidence to support that, but it gives that impression to people.
Let me get your view on this also. So we know that the health minister is, asked for a 2 weeks leave to attend to some personal issues. Before you speak on this, let me get to Martin and have your take, Martin, on, what the president said concerning, Kweku Agyeman when he was in Sinyani last night.
Yeah, listen, for me, I think it's quite a clear admission by the president that Mr. Agyeman is not fit for office and that Mr. Agyeman must go. Yes.
How do you come by that?
I'm very sure of that. That's the way I see it. Because, Winston, Mr. President doesn't shy away from expressing his opinion when he thinks the public has gotten something wrong. Let's go into our recent past. When on a certain day you guys opened the airwaves for citizens to express their opinions on the progress, or let's say the state of the free SHS. Some citizens, so far, let's just conclude, say, for those who express misgivings and all that, not long after, the president also shot back at the University of Cape Coast that, you guys were trying to give the policy a bad name. So he responded directly. Then also, before that, when Sam Jonah granted you guys an interview and said, among others, that there was a return of the culture of silence, I think the president responded that there was no culture of silence. We can go on and on and on. He's number one. He's not scared to, express his opinion when he wants to. So for me, to the extent that I didn't offer even one line of defense in support of Mr. Agyeman, that is a clear indication that Mr. Agyeman has lost. Yes, he's been fully indicted. Trust me. Yes, he's been fully indicted. And there was, did you hear that part where he said, Mr. Agyeman brepa or bre, meaning he's suffering. Yeah, so if he's suffering, and as commander-in-chief, the president has everything at his disposal that he can to help him, and yet he couldn't offer him one line of defense. That's a clear indication that the president himself sees that this matter is beyond redemption, totally beyond redemption.
Let's listen to what the president said, and we'll come back and talk about his 2 weeks leave.
The car, the Kosaka. Mudoso Papa. Minister of Health, and yeah, Papa, that's so much. No matter this year, as my menu, what bread health or will so.
Okay, so that's what the president said, and that means that I have lots of bonus in my government, including the health minister who's been slapped by Ghanaians, and Doma Dishe, a Doma native is suffering and continues to suffer more or less. So, Martin, you say this is an indication that Mr. Ajmamenu has failed and the president has no redemption for him?
Yes. That's it. Because, as I said, look, the president, he won't miss an opportunity to defend his ministers. He won't miss that opportunity. So, trust me, the president would have defended him if there was anything to defend. And the president being a lawyer, so that's even that added advantage. But this case is beyond redemption. It's just beyond redemption. Everything is gone against Mr. Ajmamenu. So, he just has to take the fall and go.
Vitus, now, Martin's position is a departure from yours, and he says, contrary to what you have said, he says, this is an indication that the president, does not support it. He's seen it, and he says, look, the man is struggling, and it's not the usual defense that you'd have from the president.
Yeah, so if that is the case, what action has he taken? You granting 2 weeks leave to go and rest? That's why I have a different view on this.
Let's talk about the leave. I mean, what are your concerns about the leave? He's asked for a leave, and he's been, the health minister, he's entitled to a leave he's been giving. What's wrong with it?
What is wrong is that this is a time that there's a very serious issue involving his ministry and he himself. And this is a time that people are likely to be contacting him for information. Because there's no guarantee, and as some of us I call him, there's need for further investigation. So he needs to be around. And some people are even seeing it as a way of trying to quieten people, let him go, let him disappear from the scene for 2 weeks. And as usual with Ghanaians, after 2 weeks, we'll forget about it, and then he'll come back quietly for his post. That's how some of us see it wrong.
But if you've criticized, you've condemned the minister when he said at the time, based on the circumstances we're faced with, it didn't permit him to think right. He feels he needs time off. If he needs time off, what's the big deal?
The timing of the leave is the big deal. I don't remember, there was something like that, and there were issues about the timing of a particular thing. You see, the timing of whatever actions we take as a government is very important. And I'm saying that because the heat is too much on him, and because they want to make people silence us, they just want to say, you disappear from the scene. 2 weeks is a long time. Ghanaians, as usual, will forget about all this. So I think it's just a strategy.
What's your take on the leave, Martin?
Yeah, so Mr. Ajmamenu is running away from accountability. Yeah, that's the way I see it. At this crucial moment when he should answer more questions, he's choosing to go on leave. He's running away from accountability. But he can't run that far. Look, Ghanaians are not going to forget this case. This case is going to be around for a long time, you see, especially as Mr. Ajmamenu is digging in his heels. You see the wisdom, when this thing first came up, we advised Mr. Ajmamenu to resign. If he had, all these matters wouldn't have come up. Do you see that even between yesterday in the evening and this morning, do you see that the story has taken another angle? That is to say, you see, Mr. Ajmamenu wrote for the balance of the money.
Yes.
But that balance is contrary to the Supreme Court decisions on this matter. The Supreme Court has made it clear that when the contract is void for lack of parliamentary approval, all of the money should be paid back. So the new angle is that the Al Maktoum has to return all of the 2,850,000. He cannot deduct anything for the 20,000 vaccines. So it means that right now, we're expecting Mr. Ajimamenu to write a fresh letter. He should withdraw the first one and say that, look, it has come to his attention that the Supreme Court decision say that when this contract is void, there are no rights under it. And so Al Maktoum should return all of the money. And fortunately for us, Al Maktoum is in a weaker position because, he has the Ameri deal here. So we will be paying him money under the Ameri deal. So we can always deduct from that money. So, and I'm sure if Al Maktoum himself is very shrewd, he would want to pay this money because I think when they did the deductions, it's about 400,000. Is that not so?
280,000.
Very good. So if you compare to how much Al Maktoum is making from the Ameripower deal, this one is like some chicken change. So advice to just give us back all of the money. So you see that even in writing the letter, Mr. Ajimamenu made another mistake. So you see that day in, day out, his situation is just worsening. Mr. Ajimamenu should check. There's Amidu versus there's a Waterville, Isophoton, and Woyomi. The Supreme Court made it clear that when you don't get parliamentary approval and the contract is void, there are no rights under it. No rights. Okay? And so all of the money has to be refunded. So we will need a fresh letter from Mr. Ajimamenu. You see? And you don't know what will come up next. The more letters will come up. So as for this case, it's not about to die.
Yes, but Parliament asked the finance minister to take steps to retrieve monies of the proposed 300,000. 20,000 had been supplied. That is being done. So?
No. Wait, so let me repeat. The Supreme Court says because the contract is void, bring back all of the money. Don't deduct anything. And you know why? They explained in the case that if they don't do it that way, some people can find a way of indirectly getting what they can get despite the constitutional provision. That is to say, you can go ahead and start supplying goods under a contract, even if there is no parliamentary approval, because you know that lawyers will tell you that there is what you call quantum merit, and also there is restitution. Oh, Master, yes, there is no contract, but I've brought you goods. You have used the goods, so you have to pay me. So that was what happened in this case. City and Country Waste Limited versus Accra Metropolitan Assembly. City and Country Waste is that's Eddie Annan's company. There were procurement breaches. So long and short, the contract was void. But Eddie Annan had worked. So the Supreme Court looked at it and saw that no. Once he has worked, even from the Court of Appeal, so he was given quantum merit for what he had done. So in the Wyoming case, the Supreme Court analyzed it and said, no, they are not going to be granting people restitution. Otherwise, no, once a contractor comes and he gets the agreement signed and there's no parliamentary approval, he can go and start working, knowing that, oh, by Ghanaian law, once you've worked, you will get paid. Then it means that it will render the constitutional provision useless. That's why the Supreme Court said, no, you cannot indirectly circumvent the Constitution. If there is no parliamentary approval, nothing will be paid under the contract. So Mr. Ajimamenu and Finance Minister, they will need a fresh letter. We need that balance. So, and Al Maktoum, as I've stated, we have business with him. And so we are in a good position to recover everything. And which does it surprise you the way Al Maktoum is quickly becoming Kweku Frimpong the Assembly. You know that song? You know,
I have heard that song. Yes.
Yeah, you know the last time the Ameri deal was being dealt with, is that not the one that this man resigned, Ejaku?
Yes.
Wachi Ejaku. And now this other deal, he's gotten Mr. Ajimamenu into trouble. So it's fast becoming like that Kweku Frimpong the Assembly song, right? Yes.
We would listen to the finance minister in that interview with a Norwegian journalist shortly. We have the sound. We're going to play it to you shortly.
Okay.
But still on this payment. So, yes, the Supreme Court ruling is there. You have actually gotten somebody to pay this money. Now, your money is with Sheikh Al Maktoum. He says, I'm going to give you $2.47 million. The amount that I haven't used. Because I have procured you, I've supplied to you 20,000 doses of Sputnik V vaccine. Wouldn't you take that than to risk a decision where he says, you know what, I'm going to supply you the rest, or it becomes another tussle. I'm going to get my money, while within that period you still have monies with him. And we know the time value of money. The money is losing value, Mr. Pebu.
No, listen, the ship has sailed. Yeah, the ship has sailed because the contract has been terminated, and both of them have already agreed. So it's too late in the day for for Sheikh Al Maktoum to go back and say he's not bringing the money. And as I stated, let's not forget the Ameri deal is currently ongoing. I mean, so we have a contract with him. We pay him money under that contract. So if he doesn't bring this money, we will offset it from the power purchase agreement. So he will just be better advised. I'm sure for him to have gotten to where he is, I mean, his level of, I mean, the kingdom, the financial kingdom he's assembled, he's a shrewd businessman. So I'm thinking that he will do the right thing.
Let's listen to the finance minister in that interview with the Norwegian journalist, and we come back and wrap up the conversation.
One of the deals we are writing about is, of course, the deal that Ghana did with Sheikh Ahmed Al Maktoum and Agrogulf, in which I was told that Ghana is paying $19 per dose for the Sputnik vaccine, which is quite a lot more than what the Russians are selling it for directly, which is $10 per dose. What's your comment on the price that Ghana has paid?
Yeah, Marcus, we had a period in which we had gotten close to 1 million AstraZeneca vaccines, which had been sort of well administered and deployed, and had very little left, and then we had the second doses coming up. So we were really forced to look at, how to get some new doses into the system, and I think we agreed to 300,000 transaction in terms of Sputnik vaccines, which we did, and I think the Ministry of Health is looking at maybe another 1 million vaccines, but really that one is on condition that we don't get the AstraZeneca's Johnson & Johnson or Pfizer in the interim period.
Just so I have the numbers correctly there, because in April the health ministry sent out a press release saying they would buy 3.4 million vaccines from Al Maktoum, and I think you said 1.3 now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, what I have is 300,000 vaccines, Sputnik, that we have paid for, and then what I am reading in my agreement is to.
And that means that, as you're saying, you've so far only paid for 300,000 Sputnik vaccines through the Sheikh in Dubai, correct?
That's very correct.
But those are paid at a price of $19 per dose.
Right. We set up an LC to do that.
All right, so that's Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta in an interview with Norwegian journalist Marcus Tobiasen, and so he confirmed that. Yes, Martin, you had raised that point earlier. There you have it, Finance Minister confirming knowledge of payment.
So you see, I told you, please, look, I think play it back again. It will help us. These things, sometimes we need time to process. It will be good to play it back. There you have it. You see, I told you. He knows a lot about this transaction than we that's an outside know.
Let me get to you, Vitus Azim. So you've heard the Finance Minister on this. Clearly, an indication that we knew about the deal when payment was being done.
Well, that was not clear to me. I didn't hear the finance minister very well. But you see, just to say what about the balance, I remember the Minister of Health said that he saw that 20,000 as a sample. And
Yes.
if that was a sample, why are they deducting from it? Apart from the legal things, if it was brought as a sample, why are we paying for it? So that is the other side of it, and that also brings back to the issue of timing. You have this ongoing thing. You are corresponding, trying to recover the monies, and you take 2 weeks leave and go. Who else is going to take over from that correspondence and pursue the money that you are asking for? So when you were asking about what is wrong with going on leave, and I said the timing, that's the one aspect of it. You started as something. You are paying money. Then you go off. And you want to be sitting in the house and writing letters to the contractor.
All right. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, the network is not good, so I will go.
All right. Yes, thank you very much for joining us, Vitus Azim. And thank you also, Martin Kwebu, for joining us. We're very grateful to both of you. Raymond.
So 2 things are clear. Right now, there's a lot more to unravel about the situation, which is basically what people have talked about when they said that we need a fuller probe into this. They believe that there are a lot more participants in all of this scheme that requires proper probing. And I have said that the relevant investigative body should get to work and immediately get to the bottom of the matter so that if there are prosecutions required, it will be done. So that other things ought to be clear to many people in this country about this deal. Because it's pretty obvious the strands are now coming together in a way that makes a lot of sense. From what started off as a very shady, not so appreciable engagement, now we are knowing who did what, when, and how. We need that fuller interpretation done so that everybody will be on the same plate about what really happened in this deal. Let's not forget, when all of this COVID-19 situation started, there was a warning from the World Bank and the IMF on this one. I remember the IMF boss was clear in his mind when he said that keep the receipts. Do not take advantage of this to do procurement that's not supported, that is contrary to law, and that is not protected within the territory that you're working, because the day of reckoning will come. It does appear to us that the day of reckoning is coming on some of these deals, and hopefully we will get to the bottom of everything right from the beginning to where we are today. There's a reason why we put together laws. There's a reason why we're asking every other person to comply with the laws of this country. We cannot make exceptions for some people. Indeed, there are exceptions even in the laws for people, except that there are also stringent rules you follow when you want to go through these exceptions. So all of this will come together nicely. It is the hope that we will not, as usual, make it a partisan political thing and make it just political football and sweep it under the carpet. It involves resources of this state. And elsewhere, people have left office for not even similar, but less important issues. For example, we know that Matt Hancock, who was a UK Health Secretary, because he breached social distancing rules, he actually resigned.
Okay.
And we have seen other examples elsewhere. So clearly, we can take a cue from all of these and act better.
So, Raymond, I have that article written by the Norwegian newspaper VG.
Yeah.
And let me just go to, it's dated the 3rd of June, 2021. Okay, dated the 3rd of June, 2021. I read piece of it. It says, and in Ghana, the Ministry of Health has not responded to any questions. However, as VG is about to leave the country, a phone call is received from the Ministry of Finance requesting a visit from VG. A group of bureaucrats receive VG, but note the entire process has taken place in the Ministry of Health. They signed the contract. We just pay at the end of the day, says one of the bureaucrats. What do you know about the price? I have a fairly good idea, at least, regarding Maktoum, the sheikh. So I know that they sold for $19. With 3.4 million sold doses, this entails a potential profit exceeding 250 million, and I'm sure that we Ghana cedis, before expenses for storage and transport. The Ministry of Finance informs that Ghana has currently only paid for 300,000 doses. It continues that it is Pentecost in Norway when VG meets with Per Morton Hansen outside a bakery in Frogner, Oslo. And he's talking about the other guys involved in the deal. But if you go down, it says, let me just go down and I'm going to read. It says, yes, so Wednesday of this week, Ghana's Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, calls VG. The agreement with the sheikh, do you view it as a possible agreement to pay $19 per dose? I don't know. And that's a question to him. I don't know, You're confronted with the good guys from the West not giving you any assurances of supply of vaccines, and you have 30 million people and are to save lives. It's easy to sit somewhere else and say, why are you doing this? But you need to make sure you protect your people. You manage that as well as you can. This is all a contrived and manufactured crisis because clearly there's enough vaccines to go around if only there was equity and justice in what we are doing. So that's from VG website. Folks, it will be time to hear of your thoughts when we return after these few messages on 0302-216-2541, 0302-216-541, and then 055-11-11-997. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Munchie Milk Shortcake. It's now made in Ghana.
There's no place like home. All the things that we love. Munchie, we enjoy with pride. Munchie, crunchy.
Yes, your favorite Munchie Milk Shortcake. It's now made in Ghana.
Enjoy with pride. With a munch and punch.
If you wanna munch into happiness. This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine say water wake up at dawn. You know buff, you know chop. Where it vanish for your area for 2 weeks. You not get one drop safe inside your tank.
Hey.
Hajia, our life was in dangerous. Only our neighbor gets water with water tank.
Water tank?
Yes, water tank. Mamma mia, that water tank gets meter for checking water level. That water tank be fine past Kumasi Selendion. That water tank be tough like Ghana Army. That water tank, they carry water pepe, so say some no go left inside the supply tank. What a tank! As my boss, Mr. Poncho, go talk.
Beautiful, durable, with water level indicator and accurate volume of water. Water tank. What a tank. By Duraplast.
Olympics is here, where people cheer for the champions. And Samsung has got something great. Samsung Olympics promotion, only for the champions. Grab your Samsung LED TV starting at 1,199 Ghana cedis. Samsung UHD 4K Smart TV, 4,499 Ghana cedi. Refrigerators start at 1,599. Samsung Duraco top-mounted freezer, 2,199. Split AC starting at 1,899 Ghana cedis. Washing machine, 1,699. Microwaves will start at 699 Ghana cedis. This and many more at fantastic prices. Samsung Olympics promotion, only for the champions.
Hey, Bra Kofi, your ceiling be smooth, bright and fine, Papa.
That's an understatement. It dey blink like 80 carats white gold. This be Interface plasterboard ceilings. Smooth, bright, and long-lasting. Everybody wey dey come here, they fill am. Where they direct them go Interface Limited for world-class quality.
If you're involved in new property development, renovation, or decoration, the right place for you is Interface Limited. Call us on 0274-999999 or visit our website at
www.interfacelimited.net. Facebook, Interface Limited GH. Instagram, interface.limited.
The big leagues are back, and DSTV is where all the football action is at. Enjoy live matches weekly from the best leagues in the world. We're talking the Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, the Europa League, and the UEFA Champions League. That's Salah, Kane, Haaland, Bruno, Lukaku, Suarez, Messi, CR7 all week, every week. Get it all from just 49 Ghana cedis per month and experience football that can't be beaten on DSTV.
Read the information on the gas cylinder to be informed of proper care.
Always store gas cylinders upright on a stable platform with a valve on top. Keep cylinder installed at ground level. LPG cylinders should be handled with care. Do not roll or drag a gas cylinder on the floor. This can cause an explosion. Stored cylinders should be in a well-ventilated area and kept at a safe distance. Gas cylinders should be transported in an upright position and secured firmly. A message from the National Petroleum Authority.
Use it safely and Purify petroleum gas. Use it safely and wisely.
Explore our expanding network of remarkable destinations via Hamad International Airport in Doha. Benefit from our great offers with all-inclusive fares starting from $649. Book with guaranteed flexibility by 16th August 2021 for travel until 31st December 2021 at QatarAirways.com. Terms and conditions apply. Qatar Airways, going places together.
Some 30 years ago, Republic Unit Trust was birthed into collective investment scheme industry, breaking several investment myths in Ghana and has become a household name. With only 50 cedis starting capital, one is able to earn interest and enjoy cumulative income as long as you wish. Several lives have been impacted in unimaginable ways. Start your investment journey with us now. Call on 0289-669-310 or WhatsApp us on 0592-300-063. Republic Investments, we are the one for you.
Joy
99.7 Joy 99.7 FM.
Well, so that's our second sermon by Black Sheriff. And this morning we've been talking to Martin Kwebu and Vitus Azim. We've been finding out more about, this Sputnik V vaccine procurement contract, which was, probed in Parliament. And one of the things that have come up this morning, we've had Martin Kwebu talk about the fact that further investigations needed to even include the Finance Ministry. What we have seen is that by June 2021, for instance, as Norwegian journalist Marcus Tobias in an interview with the Finance Minister, the Finance Ministry knew of that particular process. They knew that we had paid for 300,000 doses of the COVID-19 vaccine. But one other issue that is coming up, and something we'll be talking about later, is whether we should, retrieve all funds as ruled by the Supreme Court in the case of Waterville and Asofoten, or we should just make do with, the funds that Sheikh Al Maktoum says he's going to give us minus $380,000. Looking at the contract also, can we do that? Can we not do that? We'll tell you more about all of these. But it's time to hear from you on 0302-216-541 and 055-1111-997. So now you know that as far as June, the Finance Ministry, we knew we had paid all those monies to the Sheikh. But worried about coronavirus, Absa Bank cares about your safety. Use the Absa digital channels for your safe and convenient banking. Make instant money transfers, mobile money transfers, pay bills, buy airtime, make ATM cash deposits, and make payments with your Absa vertical card. Absa cares about you, so please remember to sanitize your hands before and after the use of any e-banking device. Now that's Africanacity, that is Absa. And Webster University, a private American university based in St. Louis, Missouri, USA, with international campuses across 9 countries in North America, Europe, Africa, and Asia. Now, the Ghana campus is conveniently located in East Legon off Lagos Avenue. We open our global doors when you earn. We open global doors to you when you earn a quality American graduate degree in international relations, business administration, or human resources management. In just about 16 months, MBA students can choose a standard MBA or specialize in either marketing or corporate finance. So apply now to start your master's program either this August or October intake and get up to 30% scholarship. Be among the first cohort of students for the new HR management program and enjoy a guaranteed 30% of tuition. Webster University Ghana's campus is open for tours, so book a visit to experience their modern facilities and meet faculty and students. Call 0940 or visit webster.edu.gh for more information. And if you're looking to pamper yourself this August, what of a stress-free trip to Dubai? Well, as part of the Power of 8 tours, Adansi Travels is offering highly discounted Dubai deals for only 8,000 Ghana cedis and covering Emirates flight, 4 to 5-star luxury hotel stay, Dubai visa tours, and many more. And the amazing part of this deal is that you get to enjoy authentic high life performance from VGMA best high life artist Kwame Eugene. Yes, the rock star will travel with you to Dubai and make sure you're entertained. And so you're left with 13th and 16th August departures. So book your spot now at adansitravels.com or call 055-631040 to book. Feel life's beauty with Adansi. Right, so time now to hear from you on 0302-216-541 and 055-1111-997. Before we get into the tweets, phone lines are buzzing already. And Elvis joins us from Gulf City. Elvis, good morning.
Good morning, Winston.
Elvis, share your thoughts with us.
Yeah, Winston, did I hear the president saying the health minister is really suffering?
Yes.
I don't know. Where are we going, the country? If this country, it's a company that the president manages or he owes the country, is that what he's going to say? He's employed a staff and something of this sort is happening. Is that what the president is going to say?
Okay.
Understand?
Well, we'll see. You've asked a question. Unfortunately, I can't provide answers, but thank you very much, Elvis, for joining us. Obusumuru from Damabing is next. Good morning, Obusumuru.
Yeah, good morning. Listen, how are you?
I am fine. How about you?
I'm fine. Oh. God bless you guys so much. And you were Sami and your crew. My brother, you see, we have to make things clear. What has the president done? The president has made it clear that he will not support any of his appointees who engage in any corrupt act. Therefore, if anybody engage in any corrupt act, you allow the person for institutions to work. So I don't understand why people are criticizing the president that he's not come out to say anything about. What do they want him to say? What he said at that gathering, he was just joking. It wasn't like he was supporting the minister, the health minister. He was just joking. Okay? So people should not make it look as if the president is supporting Kokwejuma Menu of whatever corruption act that has happened. He has made it clear over and over again that any of his appointees who engage in any corrupt act, you allow the institutions to work. If you are found culpable, will be punished for that. So that is clear. Unlike the former government, where people went to Brazil to sell coconut for $60.
Okay, let's focus on this one. Obusumuru, hold on. We're dealing with this issue. Let's deal with this issue. Let's not go back. Thank you very much, Obusumuru, for joining us. Clement from Medina is our next caller. Good morning, Clement.
Good morning. Joy FM. You are doing a fantastic job. You see, I work in the private sector. In a month, my income tax is about 1,008.
Okay.
Is the president telling us that this is how he's going to use our money, our taxpayers' money? You see, the president is practicing bureaucracy, government of the agent. He has cabal himself with a group of people. They go to work and they sleep. The president himself goes and sleeps in Dragapura. It's everywhere. This man must be fired. Why should we now have to go through all this for this simple thing? The man, in fact, I have a picture of this man watching the bottles of a net.
Hold on. What are you saying? I can't hear you. If you could speak up.
I said, there's a picture that is secluded. I have it on my WhatsApp. This Minister of Health was sharing motorbike and watching a net with the bottles.
No. Clement, no. We can't go there. I'm sorry, Clement. Let's get to. We're dealing with issues concerning the Sputnik V. We're not dealing with any other issues. So please, let us not move into those issues. We can't take that here. Let's get to Joseph from New Abrim. Joseph, good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
God is taking care of us. How about you, Joseph?
We are fine.
Good.
I believe this subject, like Martin Pebu rightly pointed out. I mean, if the head minister should have resigned initially, it would have saved all of us a lot of the hassles we have to deal with now. But you see, for the comments that was made by the president on this matter, I believe that it wasn't in good taste. Simply because, I mean, what is the best practice when it comes to some of these scandals in a governance situation like this? And most of the times we want to compare ourselves with the advanced and the developed, countries. We should all ask ourselves that, what are the best practices? I mean, if you are the head of state or the president and a matter like this has come to your table, I mean, is it time for us to make jokes and fun out of it? I think that is not what we are expecting to see as a people. This matter actually goes to the core of we as a people and the kind of culture that we have as a country. Because in any case, this is a very serious matter that we are talking about. And I don't think that we are really ready at this point in time to make jokes and to have fun about matters like this. Okay, because in any case, when these things happen, one thing that we all need to ask ourselves is that, why is it so difficult for the president to either dismiss some of these appointees? Okay, recently, you heard the president talk about, during the 29th anniversary of the MPP party, trying to say that they are ready to break the 8-year chain. So you can see that the objective of the president is actually on how to win the next election for his party. But it is not about governing this country. Because if we are really talking about governance, this is a very serious matter and must be handled as such. Okay, so I don't understand why in a very important meeting like what the president had with the chief, this should be a subject for joke. I mean, are we joking at this point in time when human lives are involved in some of these things?
Thank you very much, Joseph, for joining us. Salam is at Jamestown. Salam, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I heard somebody saying the president was joking. If we want jokers to be president, then we have voted Fanny Face and the Friends to be president. Yeah, somebody is breaching procurement edition. Things that you were supposed to follow, you didn't follow it. But I'm not shocked. Ghana is the country that we have built. He who pays the piper calls the tune. All these people that when they misbehave in government, they cannot sack them, they cannot do so and so forth. Because during campaigns and so forth, they gave money. I guess they gave money. They were sponsors of these things and this sort of thing. It's difficult for the president to remove them. Let's say it's right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Salam. We head to Adidome where Johnny is. Johnny F4.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Johnny. Share your thoughts with us.
I just want to contribute to what is being discussed.
Please do.
I have heard all other speakers have said. Now, somebody from Domavi said the president is trying to joke. How can a president, the first citizen, a case of this nature, he should be joking about it? You see, this government is up to a standard. When you heard Martin happen, and then the majority leader speaking in parliament concerning this, they are not going to do anything. Kwakwadma men will be retained. That's all. That's what is their agenda. Somebody said they are planning towards the 2024 election. When they drop Adima Menu, they will lose so many votes from the Gama area. So they will not drop him. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Johnny from Adidome. Peter T. from Sukura. Good morning.
Yeah, we say good morning. How are you?
I'm fine, Peter T. How about you?
Good. We say, I want to ask this question about the deal between the minister and then the supplier. I think the major traditional norm of maybe before you go in for this money from the finance minister, I believe that the approval comes from Parliament. And I learned that nothing of that sort was done before the finance minister, handed over the money for the contract, to begin, whatever it is. Don't you think that the finance minister being at the center of this deal, or this thing, giving the money out to the minister, don't you think that if there's any vital information that they need in relation to this agreement between the minister and then the head minister and then the supplier, the finance minister must be the first person to be held responsible, because he was at the receiving end. That is where the money was collected from. And then also, I believe that Parliament, and let me also appreciate the job of the parliamentarians, both MPP and then the NDC, that for the first time, MPP could believe that there was something wrong. Therefore, the head minister must be liable to that for the first time. So don't you think that the president must also quick as possible, to issue statements, one, that to prosecute or that to dismiss the minister, and then secondly, prosecute the head minister, together with the finance minister.
All right.
Because $16 million, which has now reduced to 2.85 million.
2.85. No, it is Peter T. $2.85 million, and that translates to 16.3 million cedis. Now, Parliament only advised that ministries, departments, and agencies going forward should adhere to procedures and also task the finance minister to go and collect the money. Hamza is from Ashaman, is our next caller. Hamza, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, Hamza. Yes, Hamza.
Thank you for the good work you're doing for the Mother Ghana. What is sticking in this issue is that, my question is Afenyo Martin a lawyer or a lawmaker?
He's both a lawyer and a lawmaker.
The rate at which he is defending this is sickening, in fact. It's very sickening. In fact, the minister of, health, the minister of finance, and the Afenyo Martins must go. They must resign. This is a shame to our nation. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much for joining us. Papa Bisu is our next caller. Papa Bisu, yes, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, my brother?
I'm fine. How about you?
Charlie, I'm fine. Just that the situation in Ghana is not making me that look good, Charlie. One thing is, I've said time and over again that this administration, they just threw out falsehood every time to deceive Ghanaians so that they'll see them as good people. To be frank with you, they are not. Take it, for instance, you, the health minister, when you were the deputy finance minister, you gave Uyume financial engineering contract. You didn't send that contract to Parliament for approval before you gave it to Uyume. And you made Uyume suffer for it. But this man was never punished. I mean, Oku Ajima Menu. This same man is emboldened to do a similar transaction without seeking parliamentary approval. You get it? And nobody is saying, that what you did previously under Kufuor's government, don't repeat it. He has repeated it, taking Ghanaians for granted. And they're lying on oath that he never paid any money. That's perjury. You know that. Then the finance minister was silent, not coming out to tell us that this is it. The only thing that he said, the only time he had a chance was when he spoke to the foreign media guy. Is that not it? Is that not it? But when Ghanaians are asking for the result of Kwekwa, have you paid? They never came out. So the point is, the three Kwekwa that what they call the director of finance at the ministry and the finance minister, they need to resign. The finance minister has to resign. And then what? We heard the president joking about this particular thing, this serious something, and you are joking with us? Is he taking us as kids
right.
to be frank with you? This country is sick, my brother.
Thank you very much, Papa Bisi, for joining us. That'll be our last caller for now. Still to come this morning, our friends from Golden Star Resources are joining us here on the Super Morning Show. We're talking about the Wasamais and what it means for all of us in this country. We'll be right back after these messages.
Joy 99.7 FM. Joy 99.7 FM. Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet.